Hello, I'm Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm top.
O que seria da Liga dos Campeões? Nada parece que vai funcionar. Quando nada parece...
Yes, it's people, and welcome back to another video on the Bridge YouTube channel where we bring you all things Chelsea. I'm your host with the most, the Bridge Nation, here today to give you a Chelsea transfer stream. As always, as you're coming in, please make sure to like, share, subscribe. Helps me and helps us out at the end of the day. Helps us always, as I say, get better, stronger, bigger, better, stronger. But oh well, listen, we missed the cue. The game's the game. But listen, we move. Hope you're all doing well. Listen, you know me, I've actually been like, flipping out, man. It's been a very long week and long week in general. And I've been relaxed, semi-relaxing, having a bit of fun and everything like that. I was actually away for work for yesterday and today, to be honest. I was literally had to do an overnight in flipping Cardiff, so the game's the game on that one. But as always, make sure as you're coming to like, share, subscribe. We've got a lot to talk about, really. In my time, there's been quite a few things that have happened. Quite a few things that have taken place whilst I have been away from this what we like to call the Chelsea transfer sagas, as we like to say. Before we even start transfer discussion, one thing I have to say is that taking a break generally I took a break, relax a little bit. I've actually just in general taken a much better approach of talking less about Chelsea, discussing it a little bit less now, post obviously Club World Cup and everything like that. And honestly, you know what? I feel a lot more relaxed, a lot more better. And I feel like, people actually need this, bro. You know what I mean? It's great getting, what some people might call dopamine rushes, the rush of the injections, everything like that. But I find, man, stepping away, not having to talk about the transfers as much, relaxing myself and everything like that. I've actually had a nice relaxed period, where I've been away. I didn't even get I wasn't even glazing up the João Félix news when I saw that, which we'll discuss of course today, right? Because I was like, am I meant to be getting happy about accounting and stuff about football. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I get like when I'm doing my FM save or stuff like that, I should be getting happy about it. But like, you know, I'm not really feeling it. You know, if that makes sense. That's just me, obviously speaking from my PV. Like after taking such a long break, a little bit of a long break for me, it's a good week and a half away from the sport. It's just like, do I have to find really to learn about that sort of thing? But you know, this is just me having my own, you know, little in the monologue, as I like to call it, of course. But you know, stuff like that and everything like that as always. But listen, I am back, so we might as well talk about a lot of this stuff and just, you know, what it generally means, what it says about us, and everything like that. I am also almost at 3K subscribers, so I think I'm just around about only 33 subscribers away from 3K subscribers. So it'd be really helpful if you guys continue to like, share, subscribe. And I think that'll probably be the last time I ever say it anyway. So let's actually get into some of the news, of course. And we might as well start with the João Félix news, right? Because I know everyone here is feeling to talk about that. And honestly, you know, it beggars belief how this deal has happened, how this deal has occurred in general. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, and just, I know I'm obviously going back in time and everything like that, but the João Félix news for me is like, it's kind of like, you know, we can talk a lot about stuff like this, but it's generally like a crazy bit of news in my personal opinion. Not invited guests. I don't want to invite guests. I want to present actually. It will let me present first before I bring on one of the hosts that is here. Bear with me for a moment. There we go. And I'll just increase it, obviously, of course. But if I just increase it for everyone here, just for you guys to see properly, and that is the Al Nassr agree deal to sign João Félix from Chelsea. Here we go. Player authorized to fly to for medical and join Al Nassr. Al Nassr. Why am I saying it like English in the English accent? What the flip? Al Nassr. Initial transfer fee worth 30 million plus add-ons and heavy sell-on clause to meet Chelsea's 50 million valuation in the future. You know, it's paperwork being prepared. You know, this obviously I'm gonna put this photo up here. Let me actually make myself a little bit bigger here using this my favorite other method. And you know, listen, guys, like if we're being honest and objective here, obviously you have to give credit to the club. They've been able to pull off the coup of the century. You know, I don't know what's going on with this Saudi relationship and Chelsea. Yeah, but you know, all I can really say is just thank you, Cristiano Ronaldo, for becoming the director of sport over that, because like I can't believe we've managed to get 50M for this guy. Like, I think people are not deep in how have we, you know what I mean? How has he done that one, Jeff? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like, you know that meme, yeah? You know the meme, yeah? In what's it called, yeah? When it's Super Saturday, and like, you know, you got Jeff Streets asking, what's it called? I forget the gentleman's name, yeah. That does the what's it called? He does the commentary, right, for the big game on Super Saturday, and he goes, I don't know, Jeff. I don't know what's happened. You know what I mean? And you see the scores, like one of the teams scored. Like this is literally this moment in real life. To be able to have literally Chris Kamara, thank you, Osama, right? Yeah, but to have been able to have gotten 50 million euros essentially, inclusive of the add-ons and everything included, it's kind of actually like it's kind of crazy, bro. Like there's no other way to put it. João Félix had an extremely poor loan spell at AC Milan, by the way. A lot of you guys know this because, like, you know, if you watch the channel, watch me casually, I was talking to you guys about my weekly updates about AC Milan because I was watching AC Milan on a regular basis. He was not performing well, bro. He had a really bad moment. The reporters there were shredding him. There was like an insane quote from one of the reporters here where he said, what's it called? Oh, if only he could play as he looked good, essentially, right? That's obviously like much what he said, which is crazy, right? And then you've obviously got the other thing which I want to talk about, right? Which is the fact that he then got Kyle Walker telling him, stop trying to do all these flicks and tricks and play the ball. So he had like 2 all-timer stinker moments, yeah, in AC Milan, and to still go for this valuation. You know, like a lot of people talk about big up to my guy Morata as like someone that you know that's definitely like he's like a player trading, whatever you want to call it, is going on. João Félix is like a better example of this, bro. He's gone 50 million euros. We brought him for 45 or 40 million euros. He's been brought for over 120 something from Atletico Madrid. He's been brought on loan for various other clubs for certain amounts of money. he's matching Morata for transfer value. You know what I mean? The only guy that's worse than Felix right now is generally none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Romelu Lukaku in terms of that transfer value. So it's kind of crazy that, of course, at the end of the day, that this has happened, of course, with João Félix. So for me, fundamentally, what happens here? Listen, obviously he's not my player anymore. It's just a shame, man. It's a shame because as I've always said, I feel like he was always a throwback player, and to have his career end the way it has is not great, bro. It's not been a great end to the story for him personally. I would like to think, and I think he knows that as well. So it's a shame, but listen, that's the way the cookie crumbles, as I like to say. So but big up to you, Lucas. Bro, hope you do well, man. How you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm not too bad, bro. Not too bad.
How's the weather? How's the weather there right now?
It's actually not too bad, to be honest. It was a bit cloudy today, but the temperature was nice. You know what I mean?
It's ridiculously hot today. It's like 30-something degrees Celsius where I am.
I'm so happy. We're back to 18 degrees Celsius of wind because I was dying the last few weeks, man, because it was bad. But what's it called? Big up to Osama bin Borden, who says, still think that Maresca should have used him more, would have not forced the move in general, and could have helped during the bad run. I think that's a good point. Obviously, that's something that I was advocating for back in January. But the past is the past. We can only move on from it, really, at this point, Osama. That's what I'd probably say to you. Gabriel, I said it before, it's great we sold Felix, but it covers up the mistakes that bail us out by luck. Many of our sons have been poor or questionable, and we get jammy with it. Hopefully they learn. I think the thing of Felix, and listen, I think, Gabe, you've heard my thoughts before. This is something that we basically did, where essentially we were doing Mendes a favor. That's literally what it was, Gabriel. We brought him because we were doing Mendes a favor, and it seems that, he's paying us back, basically, that favor right now, Gabriel. And that's one thing, that I don't like. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want us to be in situations like that right now. And, obviously, I know Simmons is a good player, but Simmons also feels like another player that, I hope that the manager wants him, because otherwise, he could be another, what we like to call, a player we signed because we were doing a favor for another super agent. So I hope that's not the case. That's what I'd probably say to that. But what are your thoughts, man? What are your general thoughts on what's it called?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens. I think Fab has been milking the tweets for Hato and Simmons. Like every couple hours he'll repost something to get people excited. But I'm not really excited about any of these transfers these days. I just have to wait and see how they perform at the club. Like Hato seems like he's the right profile for what we're looking for. Left center back, left back. With Simmons, I'm not really the biggest fan of Simmons from what I've seen of him. But we'll see how he fits into the system, and if he performs, then he performs. Like we'll have to wait and see on Simmons. But from what I've watched of him, very technically gifted, but very frustrating and ineffective player in game from the games that I've watched personally. So we'll have to wait and see. Like if he comes in and he performs, then so be it. But Hato is definitely a transfer that we need to back up Cucurella. We need that profile, and he'll have more rest, and hopefully we can buy a goalkeeper. I don't know if we will, but I'm just hoping that we can buy a goalkeeper and then close the window. Sell a few players and then just close the window.
TKL said he failed upwards all his career and is now making more money than 99% of footballers. His career ended great. I think you can say that his career monetarily has ended great, but I think if you talk about his career in terms of his personal career, in terms of like football wise and everything like that, I wouldn't necessarily say his career has ended great, because he will be remembered as one of those failed wonder kids. By the way,
he was like a Ballon d'Or level player when he was coming out of Benfica, and he just never achieved what people expected of him. So that's what it is.
Gabriel says Felix is a prime example of too much money and fame too quickly. It kills motivation. He obviously is a great talent, but he's been lucky economically, at least. Not bashing him. Good luck to him. No, I think that's a fair comment. I always say, man, when you're a sports person, bro, motivation is key, bro. You know what I mean? It's one of the things that allows you to drive yourself forward, bro, on a consistent basis. You know what I mean? Being able to be consistently, being able to do something, being able to do push something. So in my personal opinion, 100% understand that. And I think sometimes, bro, listen, when these players financially get that money, it's about, do they desire, a legacy, maybe a future, what's it called, moving forward in the sport. And I think that's a key thing, for some people, that's not the case. For some people, and I don't blame them for this. For some people, they see it as, listen, I'm really gifted at football. All I'm here for is to maximize as much money as I make, and that's pretty much it, bro.
Yeah, no,
So,
I mean, again, some
and
players are just here for a short time. Again, you have to understand this, right, Ahmed? Like, a footballer's career is so short, right? As us fans,
Exactly.
we're selfish. We want them to be at the club forever, right? And accept like a lower salary to be at the club so they can accomplish everything within the club. But if you think about it realistically and logically, for the footballer, he has a 10 to 15-year window to make as much money as he can. Sure, they want to accomplish trophies and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, money talks. So, like, if these guys move on and get more money elsewhere, I'm not even going to blame them,
Exactly.
So for Felix, financially, he made a ton of money. He had a career, again, underwhelming for his, what we expected of him. But financially speaking, like, he's going to be 30, 35. He's going to be, like, making hundreds of millions if you accumulate all the money he made at Atletico Madrid, at Chelsea, then AC Milan, and all these the transfer fees that go into it as well, the agent fees. So for him, like, it's a hell of a career financially, underwhelming on the footballing level. So, I'll take that career, honestly. Like, if that was
I would take that career too. By the way, listen. And I would take that career too. That's why, I don't, what's it called? I always separate, whenever we talk about footballers, we need to separate his career in terms of monetarily. Has he succeeded? Yes. But then the thing about football, and, like, I think sports in general, is that you have the financial career, as I would like to call it, and then you have the legacy career, right? Whatever you want to call it, right? Now, let me give an easy example of this is, like, for example, if I use like a Chelsea legend off the top of my head, like Dennis Wise, right? Yeah. Dennis Wise, for example, obviously he's a Chelsea legend, no denying that, everything like that at all, for example, right? He'll be remembered as a Chelsea legend. He may have not made financially, like, as much as João Félix has made, but from a sporting aspect, he's won an FA Cup. He's won a I forget what the European Cup essentially, right, for Chelsea. I think he's won a Carabao Cup or whatever it was the equivalent of off the top of my head. But he's got a career there, right? He's got a career. He's got a legacy. He'll be known. He's got his own flipping chant, about the San Siro and everything like that. So listen, right? So the reason why I'm using him, for example, is that he played, like, obviously, I know Rabi's saying 95 years. I know that, but the point I'm trying to make is that financially, he probably never made enough, right? So, but he will be remembered by his fans, by the club and the fans, right? But that Felix, bro, is he going to be remembered?
No.
At Benfica?
No.
Maybe they may remember as one of the future wonders that came out of the club, right? Mm-hmm. He will be remembered. Will he be remembered at Atletico Madrid? I mean, he technically did win a title with them, right? So he probably will remember that. But he won't be remembered at Chelsea in the long run. Right, you won't be remembered at Atletico and at AC Milan. Who's that the club they went out on loan with that I'm forgetting as well? That's not including these two clubs.
Felix, you mean, or
Felix? So I know he went to AC Milan. He went to Chelsea. There's another club. Oh, Barcelona. You won't be remembered when he was at Barca.
Yep. Yeah. He came back to us for the first time around. Again, every time he moved, bro, like, he had, like, there was some sort of fee that he was being paid every time he moved. So again, he's not. Like, again, I don't think Felix is the type of guy that really cares about what people think of him. Like,
but the point I'm trying to make, I think the point, I know what you mean, Lucas. I know what chat's understanding. I even agree with what TK was saying. But, like, the point I'm trying to make, though, is that I use as another player because I wanted just to, like, show, just like, financially, Felix has done his job. He's done his job. He's set himself, up for life. He's set his family up for life. Right, but then there's also the other side of it, which is that
you can use Oscar as a comparison, right? Like, Oscar, I never saw that he was as talented as people made him out to be. But again,
well, Axel Witz was another. Not even Oscar. Axel Witz was always the perfect example, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, he was in his prime when he left, bro. Every single top club was after that, brother. But he said, "I need to financially help my family."
Even Hulk, right? Remember Hulk, right?
Yes.
We almost bought Hulk back in I forgot the year, but we almost bought Hulk, and then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go to, to I think Russia, right? He went to Russia. He had a ton of money there. I think he, moved a few other clubs and stuff like that. So he made his money. Oscar went to China, and I think Hulk after went to China as well. So a lot of these guys, they're in it for the money. Like,
Mm.
A lot of us fans, we want to have that. We want to think that footballers only care about personal accomplishments. Like you're gonna have players like CR7 and Messi who do go out and get the accomplishments and the finances.
The reason, but the reason why those two can do it, and I always say that there's some players, the reason why they can focus on all that stuff. You know why? Because they're already financially compensated, bro.
Yeah.
For some of these guys, they're already financially obviously compensated. So listen. So how long we say Xavi's under Felix by? Listen, if you're tough, you know what? Yeah, the one thing about
I'm not gonna say no to that, EPL turf.
The one thing about me and EPL turf, we are always almost in the same direction as always.
Listen, EPL turf has a point.
Me and EPL turf, I was literally like, talking about Felix.
I told Joey this. He thought I was hating on him. I'm like, listen, Joey, I've seen this guy. I don't know about him, bro. I don't know about him. He has footballing ability, but he's very ineffective, bro. That's all I'll say. He's very ineffective.
The one thing that worries me, listen, the one thing I hope, and listen, I've not obviously, listen, I need to ask this question personally as well. What's it called? Yeah, is that I don't know with Xavi Simons, because you might as well get to him because he's the next topic, right? In the sense that there's not really been, because you know, with every player, right, there's been a thing about the managers wants him. The thing he wants him, right? There's clearly like a push, right, for the players being wanted, right? Now, I'm not really, unless I'm obviously not aware of anything, but Xavi Simons, when it comes to it, I've not heard anything about the manager wanting him, anything like that in terms of the report, if that makes sense, guys and chat. And so that does give me a little bit of a worry, right? And I think that's a fair worry to have, right? Because you're like, oh, is he being brought because the club is a club target?
Fit for like what we're looking for. We're looking for a like left winger, and then like again, he's more of a 10. Like from what I've watched him, again, this guy, he looks very good on the eye, right? So he does pass the eye test. He's very like techie and all that. But from the games I've seen of him, bro, like he's one of those players that like you don't see the talent on the field. At least from the games that I've watched him. I mean, the Champions League, you know, in the Euros, like I just didn't see it. You know, like again, if he
the thing is though, what's happening? I think. Listen, I said this before. I said this to you. Oh, thank you, Kule. But listen, Kule, I've been out of the loop very, very much. So if the manager does want him and it's come out, then the manager wants him. Then you know what? Fair play. Then I have no problems with him.
But he also said that he wanted Felix.
The thing about the Felix one, we all know he didn't want Felix. We all know he didn't want Felix, bro. We all know that he didn't want Felix. Let's be real, bro. We all know he didn't.
Like Fab will say anything, bro. The guy is constantly lying. Like I don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. Part
of the thing is though, yeah. The Matt Law's obviously said a few things. A lot of the other Charles people have been making this comment that they've clearly targeted Simmons now as a main target, right? So and listen, Felix, we all knew, guys. Yeah, everyone here knew Felix was not wanted by manager, bro. They literally wanted Samu. I'm honestly of the thought that first actually wanted Samu in the club. Because it makes sense now. If you look at Delat obviously coming to the club, they're not obviously they're quite similar archetypes somewhat in terms of like their ability to head the ball, the sort of being big men and stuff.
Morning like that. Zombie. So, there's on the eye test. There's probably you're not gonna find a lot of people that can judge a player like me, bro. I have seen Xavi Simons, and again, if he comes in and he does well, I'll give it up to you, Morning Zombie. But this guy, very frustrating footballer, man. That's all I'll say, man. Very frustrating footballer.
Yeah.
Very good on the eye, but very frustrating.
Yeah. Listen, but EPL time, bro. We need the truth about him. The club was literally targeting Samuel Meridian, boys. Yeah, and then we dropped out last minute because we decided to give Jorge Mendes the good old, listen, mate, we'll do you a favor if you do us a favor. That's what happened. We literally did the agent a favor. That's what happened there. Simple as that.
Do you really think that Xavi Simons is an agent thing with Barat?
Listen, at the back of my head, that is obviously a worry. At the back of, because I said that early in the stream, by the way, I don't know if you were here. I didn't say in the back of my head. I hope that's not the case, but because like he definitely seems like a talented player, seems like a quality player. I actually do think he will add to the team, right? And I think the reports recently of the idea that they want to bring in both Garnacho and him into the team, for me, it actually probably means more than anything else that that he probably actually wants to play Xavi Simons in his actual position. Right? So he wants to play Xavi Simons centrally, and then I think Garnacho generally is going to be competing with Gittins on the on the left wing. That's generally what I think is going to happen, by the way.
Yeah, the thing is with this fan base, like they hype up any player that we buy, right? And it's like the guy, they'll watch a comp of like a 3-minute video of a player, and he looks really good on the ball, and we'll bring him in, and there's going to be all this hype, and then they're going to be, oh, he failed, and then they'll wonder why he failed, right? Again, I hope he succeeds, because if he fails, then we're going to have to sell this guy in a year.
The part for me is that I don't think part of it for me is that if you're buying someone for 60 million, because remember, I need to João Félix you brought in for like something like 40. If you're buying someone for around about 60 million pounds essentially or within that range, right? Then they have to be playing football for you, bro. Does that make sense? Like you're paying such a level of price now where you can't say no to that.
But the market is so screwed right now that anyone is going for 60 million. So even if Xavi Simons fails, we could literally get 60 million the following year.
Yeah, like, but we know that's the way we do stuff with selling.
Yeah.
But I think when you're buying someone though, for 60 M's.
Right there, EPL turf. Matisse Tell. Remember Matisse Tell? How much hype this guy was getting from the fan base on Twitter? You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying.
No. Listen. I get that. But listen, the thing I will say is that I'm a very neutral opinion on Xavi Simons because I have not watched them. So for me, it'd be wrong with me to bring opinions and facts on someone that I have no idea on. Right now, the one thing I have said, the back of my head, the little worry I have obviously was the stuff about the agent stuff that we've spoken about, right? Which I'm gonna keep to the back of my head. I want to see what happens. I do think the deal will probably get done this week because remember next week we're playing our first preseason game, right? Our first and second preseason game is next week, by the way. Because the league starts in 2 weeks, by the way. I know a lot of people will seem to be forgetting this, but the league is starting in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks? Oh my
bro, goodness. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, the league starts in 2 weeks because the 16th is in 2 weeks, right? Unless my the league starts literally in 2 weeks, bro. The league it's obviously 2 weeks and change right now, but it's literally gonna start in 2 weeks from next week Monday. So
for me, Ahmed, like I just want players that come into the system and they're like a natural fit for what Maresca's trying to do. Like I don't even care like if it's maybe it's not even a player that I like particularly rate, but if he comes in and he performs at a level within the system, that's all I'm asking for. Like you know what I'm saying? Like even if I don't rate this, particularly me, I don't rate this Simmons guy. If he comes in and he performs within the system, right, and he adds to our attack, then cool, man. So, so be it.
Yes, again. So for me, I have no issues with him. I like him. In terms of like if he's gonna add to stuff, I don't really mind him at all. At the end of the day,
I'd rather have manager. That's someone I will not.
If the manager. So we'll get to Garnacho in a little bit. But what I will say is that I think of Xavi Simons, my opinion of him is neutral. I understand EPL terms like idea, thought of like, we want shiny toys and stuff like that. Because on some level too, I know we're trying to survive with the fittest here, but I'm not of that personal view because it's like when you got younger players and stuff like that, I do think on some level, guys, you also need to nurture these guys, right? You need to give some of these guys game time. Because if you can't just say, we're giving you here minutes here and just do something with it, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because that environment may not be as effective as you might think. Or it's not always gonna be as effective. Does that make sense? Yes, you can churn out the players, crack them out, bring some more in, but it doesn't. What's it called? It's not always gonna be as successful maybe as people want. If that makes sense. So because particularly these young lads that you're bringing in now. In my personal opinion, right?
Do you think we bring in another attacker, Ahmed? Like your personal opinion?
We're bringing in 2 attackers. I said this before. I think Garnacho and Simmons are going to be the last 2 attackers in the club.
You really think Garnacho? Man.
I told you.
You heard
since the summer, I told you this Garnacho is going to be a loan of obligation. It was going to be, or we paid 30 million. That's what it'll be.
Yeah, that's.
But listen, we all know this was happening. Like again, the way. Can you play the clip with the $1 donation? Give me £1 and I'll do it for you for £1. There we go, start Slayer. Listen, but I think for me, and I said this before, Xavi Simons clearly is going to be I saw someone say that Sesko was coming to the club. I was like, there's no way. If Jackson leaves the club, we've got 2 strikers now, guys. There's no way we're bringing in another striker after this. If Jackson
I wouldn't wish Sesko on my worst enemy, man.
The thing is though, He's going to Newcastle. I don't know if you saw that. That's been confirmed.
Bro, I hope he goes to United, man, because then Newcastle will come in for Jackson, and then they both get screwed in the process because they're both terrible strikers, man.
No, I think that's
that'd be the funniest thing ever, man.
We all knew. Listen, we all knew that was gonna happen. So I have no issue with that.
Again, bro, like, but again, Pavel, right? He has connections with Leipzig, so I wouldn't rule out Man United going in for Sesko. I'm just saying.
Hijacking the deal. But the thing is, they don't have the money anymore.
Bro, everyone says that Man United never have the money, bro, but they always come.
Bro, they're literally. I don't know if you just saw this right now, bro. They are legit trying to do swap deals, bro. I don't know. We gotta get to that when we talk about Jackson.
I think they're gonna sell Anthony though, right? If they sell Anthony to Saudi, I think they could, make some money on Anthony.
I've not seen no anti to Saudi deals. When has this happened?
I mean, I saw it on Twitter. I don't know if that's still a thing, but they were looking to move Anthony to one of those Saudi teams.
I mean, you can look to make that happen, but can you make that happen? Is the question. Does he want to go to Saudi?
I don't know, man. It depends on the money, right? Like, it depends on how much money.
I get that, but I feel like the difference between him and João Félix is that I think he wants to play World Cup football.
That's the thing that United has. This is the issue that they have with selling players on it, right?
Yes.
All these players that they have, they're all narcissists, bro. They have huge egos, man. Garnacho actually thinks he's Chelsea level, bro. Like, he's gonna wait for Chelsea, bro. You know how much that's pissing me off? Every day I go on Twitter.
I've said this before. I said this before to someone, to a mate of mine the other day, yeah. And I was like, listen, guys, Garnacho probably has already spoken to Chelsea.
Oh my god.
The agent's already spoken to him. They're like, listen, we want you, or you know what United's like. And Garnacho is probably is already a dickhead. He's like, yeah, I know these guys, man. Fuck these guys.
Bro, I guarantee you, Aston Villa offered this guy money, and he rejected him, bro.
No, he didn't even need to do that. Garnacho is already does not like the way United's moving. He does not like the way United's moving. Chelsea released him already for Sancho, and you already seen Brentford already did their job of fleecing them already. Oh, and Bummer, right? So you know what they did? Him, Chelsea agent already spoke. You're gonna do it the last minute. You know what I mean? Last 5-10 days in the window. We know these guys are gonna be, they're gonna be doing everything they can to get you out of them. We'll do a loan of obligation. You know, looks like last time.
But
you know Garnacho already knows that's gonna happen. He's like, yeah, man. And you know, I promise you right now, there won't even need to be like a personal terms agreed because the personal terms have already been agreed. You know what I mean?
God,
the agent's done his done. He's done his talk. They're just waiting now for the last 10 days of the window, and then it's just gonna happen, bro.
Oh man, that's gonna kill me, bro. That might. You'll never see me again, bro. Like, I don't even know what's
gonna happen. I'm telling you what's happening for verbatim. Listen, as I said before, the Sancho thing almost was like the same playbook, by the way. Sancho,
why don't we just buy Sancho back, bro? I'd rather have Sancho back than even be linked to Garnacho, man. Like, god damn, this guy is awful, bro. My god.
The thing is, Gabriel, I don't know. Listen, Gabriel, I know you watching me before, and I said this before. If you remove, the toxic stuff that he does behind the scenes with his family, doing the Twitter and everything like that, and you just objectively look at all of his stuff, right? He makes sense. He's a great 1v1 guy in terms of his ability to
great 1v1. That's
let me explain. In terms of what I mean 1v1, I mean in terms of like he's able to, in particular in the Premier League, he has the P&P ability and the cutting inside. The thing that needs to improve from him is just his ability to shoot. That's it, bro. And the thing is, you can improve that.
You're being too nice, okay? Hold on. He doesn't have a great weak foot.
That's what they see in him.
Can't dribble. He's awful, bro. The guy's first touch is horrendous, man. Like, why are we doing like this whole but we can fix him, we can improve. Oh my god, bro. What are we doing, man?
Yeah, actually, Chelsea, I think that's a good point. I think that's probably what's gonna happen. I've
watched every single Man United game this season just for the banter, bro. That team was awful. And listen. Oh my god, this guy. He's a criminal.
Listen, I agree with everything you might be saying. I'm not obviously of the opinion that I want Garnacho to the club. But if I remove my own goggles,
Garnacho, right? This is the only praise you'll ever hear coming from me, Ahmed, with Garnacho. In the last 10 minutes of a game, you need like an impact sub. He'll kind of do something. Like he'll come in and you'll do some shit. You know what I'm saying? It might not be he'll miss a few chances and stuff, but he'll try to do something. But that's
only
it.
Bomba. What the hell?
But other than that, man, he's terrible, bro. We should be going for Yildiz, man. Like, I don't even know why we're even like considering this guy, bro.
Oh, Aaron Ramsey is going to Newcastle. Bro, man. Newcastle, bro. We're going to talk about Newcastle today. We will talk about Newcastle today. Ramsdale. Yeah, we're going to talk about Newcastle today, bro, because I actually, bro, this is bad. I actually can't believe that this has happened to them, but we're gonna talk about them. Bro. We are going to get to them. We're going to get to them. But listen, let's go back to Garnacho.
Yep.
Reality is, guys, Garnacho is coming to the club. He's probably going to compete on the left side, as I said before. The club wants Gittins in to compete on the left-hand side. That's just objectively what's going to happen. Again, probably in the middle. It wouldn't surprise me, yeah, if we start playing a thing of where you have maybe a Xavi Simons and you have a Palmer operate together. I actually think that might be, something that happens where you get.
Sorry to cut you off. We sold Samuels for $6.5 million. It's just been reported.
Yeah, I did see. I saw that already.
Okay.
I don't know. On 6.5 million games a game, he's gonna.
That's not bad though for an academy player. It's not bad.
No, I'm not even gonna cross out. I think for me, with Ish Samuel Smith, he's basically still our player, guys. Like he's at Strasbourg.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have to see how he cooks. He's a talented player. I don't really have that much to say about him because again, I want to see what he does at Strasbourg. That's what I would say. And with Conference League football, like going back to the point I was making, I do think this is one of my hot takes that I'm gonna say right now that. I think Xavi Simons, if he comes in, he's actually gonna start alongside of Cole Palmer. My personal opinion. That's probably what's gonna happen. So
I think it's gonna be a 3-2-4-1, right? So Cucurella is gonna be on the left side, right? As a left winger almost, right? And then he's gonna be it's gonna be a double 10 with Simons and Palmer, and then Neto on the right, and then João Pedro up front. That's probably what's gonna be.
And if we keep playing this free formation, I do think there's gonna be situations where when we play the free formation, Cucurella might be the left side of centre back actually, ironically, and then you play whoever that left winger you want it to be, whether it be a Gittins.
I disagree. I actually think it's going to be Hato, and then Levi Cole as a center back, and then Reece James as a right center back. So I think there are going to be games where Hato and Cucurella play, right? Because they need the pace.
But then my problem becomes if we do play this 3-2-4-1, right. The Cucurella can't just be your left winger then, because why have you put in Gittins?
But he's not going to be a left winger. He's going to go up and down, right?
No, I get the up and down situation, but that guy essentially is still your left winger, bro. Does that make sense? Yeah.
But he's not going to be like a natural left winger. It's going to be like how we played. When Gusto, how we played the final. Gusto was
I know what you mean.
Almost like the right winger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's going to be more of like a supporting winger. So like Palmer and then Simons get like space to kind of like make the runs and link up and stuff like that. So I think that's how it's going to be like Neto's going to connect with Palmer on the right side, and then Simons is going to connect with Cucurella on the left side. He's not going to be like a natural winger. It's going to be more like he's going to go up and down. He's going to move centrally. I think it's going to be a very fluid system. You know what I'm saying? And I think if he puts Hato as like the left center, here we go.
Did we? I feel like one of zombies trying to troll me, but we have to.
I don't know.
Nah, I don't see no. Here we go, mate.
Yeah. Here we go. Hold on.
I don't see anything, mate. So. See, I told you got baited.
Yeah.
Always trying to do this.
I'm in nose, right?
Nothing to worry about, man. Listen. I've got Twitter on the side. I've got a dual screen. So anything that updates, I will see on the top. More than zombies are regular. So I knew he was gonna try to do. I know how he plays the game. Red card, obviously, of course. But listen. Going back to I think the formation thing that we were speaking about, right? In terms of obviously the Cucurella and stuff like that. I think again, interesting to see what happens there. I do question though. Then if you are gonna play this formation, where is Gittins playing? Where is Garnacho gonna play? Because you're bringing in these guys and everything like that. You know what I mean?
I think he's gonna change the formation based on the opponent. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say for example, he wants more speed. In a particular game on the left side, he'll bring in Gittins, and then he'll put Cucurella as the left back, right? Or maybe he'll put Gusto as a right back, or like a right winger on one game, and then I think he'll change it up. Like Reece James, right? I think he'll play a lot of center back. this upcoming season because I don't feel like he's gonna want him going up and down. I think with Andre Santos coming in, he doesn't really have to invert James anymore. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Like I'd rather just James be like a center back, like a right-sided center back, and then Levi Colwill, because he's trying to move him centrally. Like I spoke with Joey about this. I think his objective is to move Levi Colwill centrally, and the only way he can do that is if he has very fast, center backs like on the sides, right? That's why I'm thinking of like Hato as like a left center back, and then James as a right center back. Because even look at what Fab was saying. Like he said that Hato was a top center back option for Chelsea for the summer. But at the same time, he also said that we might be looking in for like a right center back. So it's very conflicting reports. Like we've been linked with what's his name, Scalvini, right? So like I don't know how they're gonna set it up. Like, are they gonna get a Scalvini because then he's the right-sided center back, and then are we just gonna play Hato as the left-sided center back in certain games? Like, how are we gonna approach that? It's very interesting.
The whole thing for me, the whole thing I look at, the way I look at it probably is that Joe Hato has been wanted for his versatility, right?
Yeah,
that's what you want him for. I think Scalvini is also a little bit versatile. If you're gonna bring him in, I think with Scalvini, we have to see the movement for the Sarsi to happen first, right? You need to get the Sarsi off your books, right, before you can then start bringing in stuff like that. So I do wonder, when that the Sarsi deal happens, because again, the selling market has been going very slow, guys. Again, you know what I mean? Even though we've been able to sell Petrovic, Felix, Madueke, obviously Ishmael to ourselves, basically, for lack of a better term, Amogu to ourselves again, for lack of a better term. Who else am I thinking that we've sold? Penders is on loan. Obviously, Pai is about to go on loan as well. Mamadou Sarr on loan again. So again, we still have Chilwell to sell, Sterling to sell. Who else am I thinking about? Armando Broya to sell, right?
Yeah.
Those are the ones that those are the main ones, right?
I think at the minimum, like if we can't sell some of these guys, they're going to be like Datro Fofana, right? Like he's a guy that
Datro Fofana is going to go on loan again. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, like I think the only option for him is a loan, unless we can get like a Saudi. Again,
I think? Yes, I actually forgot about this guy. Chalobah is another one.
Chalobah, right? Also,
I really think
Gilchrist as well.
Gilchrist, listen, big up to Gilchrist. I actually, because he's a bit more of an academy guy, not necessarily a mainstay first team guy. I think he's a bit more separate, bro. Because again,
they have to get rid of Chalobah. Like shout out to Chalobah, but they're looking at the pure profit. That's people like they have this like sentimental thing with academy players. They're looking at pure profit. Like Chalobah, he can be a decent backup, but they already have a decent backup with Tosin. So it's one or the other, right? It's either Tosin or Chalobah. And because Tosin's friends with Palmer, I think
the other thing to think about, and I was thinking, by the way, I listen. The other thing I want to think about as well is that if you sell Jackson, for example, right, the Jackson money can probably fund your centre back, by the way, too, because realistically, you've just sold João Félix for 50 million euros essentially, for lack of a better word, right? That basically brings you in Jorel Hato, and then obviously Nkunku is still yet to go, which you're probably gonna sell, right?
Yeah.
Right, and then if you sell him, that's basically your money for what's his name, Xavi Simons, right? And then whoever you sell next, right, is basically going to just fund whoever you send back you want, basically. I don't think we're going to get a goalkeeper. I've said this before. It's probably going to be a centre back that comes in. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think if we can get like a very competent center back, just that's it. Like I think that's what the window will be. I don't. Again,
I actually think Scalvini coming in is a very realistic reality in the sense of like.
Because I heard Atlanta they're selling everyone, right? They sold Lookman.
Everyone.
And
even though he's had obviously he's obviously had like an ACL injury. I know that he's just coming back from, but at the same time, bro, this is a guy that Chelsea will probably still want.
Yeah, because even if he fails, we can still sell him for like a good money. You know what I'm saying? Like it's again they look at age, they look at if you can sell him to another club in the future. I would really love a goalkeeper, man, but I don't think it's gonna happen. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm surprised they have that type of money at Inter Milan. No, they won't. I think The thing is, Chelsea have been scouting Scalvini for a long while. Apparently, this is something that I've known about because, like, a lot of the Chelsea ITKs have been talking about. We've been scouting him for a long while. We get ACL, we've wanted him for quite a bit and everything like that. So if he is available, as it's truly to be believed, and with the way Fofana is and in his current state, the club will probably trigger that. By the way, I'll be honest with you.
I think Sesko again. That there's a possibility that Sesko goes to United. We have to pray he does, bro. We have to pray he does, because if he does, bro, Newcastle are screwed, and they're gonna have to overpay for Nico Jackson. Can you imagine if we get like 65, 70 from Nico Jackson, man? Like
No. EPL tough. EPL tough. I think what I just said. If you listen to what I said, bro, I think the club probably is gonna try to sell one of Chalaba. He's gonna get sold. Disasi getting sold, right?
Achipong will probably go on loan.
Achipong probably is gonna go out on loan as well.
And so Mino will go out on loan.
And so Mino is definitely going out on loan, right? So you've already lost Mamadou Sarr as well. People forget that too. So what are you down to? Joel Hato, Reece James, you could probably play in a position if needed. Fofana, Buddy Shield, and Cole. And have I added Hato into that equation? I think I have added that. Hato. Right. So that's 5 of them, basically.
The Tosin, if you want to be like 6, right?
Tosin is 6, basically, right? But again, Tosin, the reason Tosin is not even playing regularly for us, Tosin is playing, right? Again, we're using him because he's great with headers, and that's pretty much it against lower sides.
Yeah, Axe, I don't think Scalvini's as injury prone as people make him out to be. Like, yes, he had the ACL injury, but he actually recovered in like record pace, man. Like he was only out for like 5 months, man. And then he had a shoulder injury that kept him out for like 20 games or so. Again, like it's very like it's misleading, right? Like he's had a few injuries, but like other than the ACL, it's not been that bad. If you really think about it, like shoulder, bro. Like like it's not gonna affect him that much, as opposed to like an ACL. ACL was 17 games, bro. Usually you miss like 60 games.
Exactly.
With an ACL tear. So like it wasn't like he had the ACL, but he recovered like crazy. So, and if you look at like his overall career, like he's played over 100 games and he's 22. Like Fofana, I don't even think he's at 100 games yet. Like the guy, like he's missed like 4 seasons.
I saw a crazy stat the other day that I don't want to mention, so I'm gonna keep quiet.
Bro, like he's like on the.
I genuinely couldn't believe I saw the stat.
Bro, he's like he's worse than Luke Shaw, bro. Luke Shaw, he's missed like 7 years of his career, and that's where he is right now. Yeah, I don't know what happened now. I mean, I don't know if you guys hear me. I guess I'm alone. So yeah.
No, like there were genuinely a stat that I saw that listen, guys, don't attack the messenger, bro, because what I'm about to say, you're gonna be thinking, that I'm moving like this. Keenan Dewsbury Hall has more appearances for Chelsea than Wesley Fofana, bro.
Is he really? There's no way, bro.
He has more appearances.
Shout out to KDH, man. Shout out to KDH.
That guy, bro. But this guy has more appearances than him, bro.
How many games has he played, bro? How many games has he played?
I think it's like 26 or he's got 26 or 27 KDH, and then the other guy's got like 24.
26 games, bro.
He tricked him, man. Even I was like shocked. I was like, "There's no way, man. There's no way, bro." I had to like,
Where did you find this, bro?
Bro, someone tweeted it, and they had like a death emoji in it. Initially, I was like, "Nah, that's no way, bro." But yo, I could not believe that was actually a crazy, man.
He like barely played this season too, man. Oh my god, bro. I feel really bad for Fofana, man, because that guy, when he was at Leicester, like this guy had the potential to be like a top 5 center back in world football, man. It's a damn shame what happened to him, man. It's a damn shame. Broke his leg, ACL. Damn, like this guy's been very unfortunate, but it is what it is, man. And his profile is so hard to find in today's game. It's so hard to find like a fast, physical center back that can like, go up and down the pitch and stuff. It's very like difficult.
Oh, listen, we'll talk about MC. We'll talk about it. But listen, before I do that, I need to do my eye drop really quickly, guys. Give me a second to do my eye drop, actually. Hold the fort for 1 minute, bro.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, he was pretty injury prone at Leicester, man. Like the thing is, he was very good. Like he was solid, bro. And then he broke his leg, and then we bought him right after he injured his leg, and then literally like he played nothing for us. Kept getting hamstring injuries. Then he had the ACL, and then he came back, and then hamstring. Like this guy, man, he's just been very unfortunate, man. Like this sucks, bro.
It's not even annoying, bro. We knew what we were getting, and we decided to still get him.
But like a broken leg, right, Ahmed? Like you can understand that. Like someone breaks their leg, like it is what it is, right?
No. I don't think. Yeah, I don't even think. Listen, my issue's not even that, bro. But like, we knew the type. We knew the amount of what's it called? We knew the amount of like appearances. You know what I mean? That this guy had gotten. So like,
but he was such a highly rated center back, Ahmed, that I think they thought like the risk was worth taking. You know, like they thought, okay, you know, he broke his leg, freak injury. And then, you know, hopefully it won't like affect him, you know, long term. Again, then he had all these other injuries, bro, that accumulated over like the 3 seasons that he's been here, bro. Like it's a damn shame, man, because he is a quality center back. It's just that he can never get consistent game time to show it. You know, that's what it is, I guess.
Yeah, listen, all well and good, but listen, at the end of the day, man, we know what the reality is, man. This guy he's not got the skills to pay the bills, man. So it's time to move on. I'm just going to be objective, you know. Listen, if I generally, I'll be very honest with you. You know, if I just see Fofana, man, I'm looking at him.
Man, Detective Dokes, man. Like, shout out to Dexter.
Shout out Dokes, man. Shout out Dokes Nation, man. I can't lie, man. The new series is looking good, man. I'm a Superman. I'm a Dexter Superman personally, but listen, shout out to my guy Dokes, man.
I kind of hated that guy when I was watching Dexter the first time around. I was like,
man, look, man, he's killing the vibe of the group, man.
I was like, can he just let Dexter kill people, bro, in peace? Like,
no.
He just let Dexter do his thing.
He used to annoy me because it's like, bro, he used to kill the vibe in the police room. Like,
bro, he killed the vibe, bro.
If you watch like season 3, bro, these guys are all happy, bro. They're like, yeah, everyone's checking each other out. I was like, damn, he really was killing the vibes. He was killing the vibes, bro. Like, I swear to God, bro. Season 3, bro, onwards, I was like, damn, the vibes are like immaculate, bro. Everyone was like in advance of each other. Like, this guy was killing the vibes, bro.
He always killed the vibes, bro. He was like the ultimate hater, man. That guy he was such a good actor, man. He did a really good job.
He's an elite actor, bro. No, he got the thing is, yeah, I hate that people are really finding out about him now. Using him
man.
This guy has been on like this TV show has been on like since basically was it late 2000s or mid 2000s, bro?
Yeah, I think it was like when was Dexter, like 2007 or something? Like it
was coming out at the same time as Breaking Bad, which was like 2000.
Yeah, it was like in like 2008ish, 9, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it went off like 6-7 seasons, I think.
Yeah, it went off for 7 seasons. Then obviously New Blood came out, which were uncomfortable conversations. Original Sin is amazing. I love Original Sin.
They have to do with the remakes, man. It's like Prison Break. When they came out with Prison Break, the remake,
I can't lie to you. Original Sin is amazing, by the way. You should watch Original Sin. That's actually flipping.
What is that? What is that based on?
That's the prequel. That's the prequel of the show, which is flipping amazing. Like, it actually goes into Brian Mozart and everything like that. Like, it actually goes into a lot of detail, bro. Like, so I actually like that the prequel show. And the new one, Resurrection, is really good too. You should watch Resurrection too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah, those two are good. But listen, shout out to Sergeant Dokes, man. You know,
yeah, he was quality, bro.
A real hater, man. You know what I mean? That's it, man. But that's listen. Speaking about real haters, man. Cucurella. I'm hearing Al Nassr's coming in. Listen, Al Nassr, can you give me this?
Oh, he lost it again!
You know what I mean? 100
Oh
mil.
my
Can you
God.
give me the 100 mil bid? You know what I mean? I'm going to go for that. No cap, yeah. If you even get 100 bid for him, I'm actually genuinely, I'm actually letting him go for 100 mil. I don't care what anyone tells me.
The
In
problem is,
my
like, I don't even mind selling him for 100 mil, but like, who do you replace it with? Like, the
don't
thing
care,
is,
bro. I don't care. If I genuinely get 100 M for this guy, bro, you have to be wrong for. I can't listen. Fundamentally, bro, I can't let that financial package leave me, bro. If you get 100
I
M,
mean,
bro,
that's the problem though. We have these SDs, bro. They'll just replace him with like an academy player or some shit from like
bro,
the city
you
academy
have,
or whatever. Like they're gonna just replace him
bro,
with a child.
Cucurella is actually going to be the first 27-year-old to get a contract extension. You know that, right? He's actually the oldest player we've given.
Bro, Ahmed, this guy's gonna be
Tumor
here
was
till
26
he's
when
like,
they gave him the contract. Tumor was
Ahmed,
26.
the way that he plays and how intense he is during games and how like
He's out by
solid.
20. He's got 2 years left tops. I'm telling you right now. He's
Oh,
got
no.
2 years left
I
tops.
think this guy, I think he breaks 30. I think he's going to be here like 31, 32. I'm not even joking of it. With the way he plays, and he's always fit, and he like, again, I don't think Hato will ever make it out here at Chelsea, by the way.
Listen,
I think it's going to
I'm going to be honest. He's got,
I don't think he'll make
the
it
way
back.
he plays and the stuff he does, 2 more years. I'm telling you.
Nah. He's like an injured, bro. He's like a Spilicueta, man. He never gets
But
injured.
the problem is, the difference is, Azpilicueta's job wasn't as, it was taxing, but it wasn't this level of taxing. Does that make sense? Because he would sometimes play centre back. When he was playing right back, left back, he was playing like the regular version, right? He wasn't crushing no box. He wasn't doing inverting. He wasn't doing all this crazy stuff, right? So Asby's job was really like he was playing as a modern day fullback, an old school fullback, and then he could play centre back or if needed to as well, if that makes sense. That's what his versatility comes in. And so all I'll say, man, we'll see what happens with him. But you know, I listen. I've given 2 seasons. I'm giving him 2 seasons.
Again, I don't know.
Yes, BLT. I think Iberto makes a good point about. Yeah, to be fair, as we were playing consistently since like 2012, 2013, sorry, when he came in. The thing is, no club is coming in for him. I'll be honest, man. Barcelona, bro. I worry for the new state. I saw the stadium is basically almost completed. I'll be honest, man. If you're Barcelona, man, you gotta be worried, bro, because they're not even giving Real Madrid the stuff that they were dreaming of that stadium. I don't know how that's gonna be turning out for you, bro. But we'll see what happens. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But I think, listen, in terms of like Chelsea, I think Xavi Simmons is on the way. I think what's it
Hato
called?
is pretty much confirmed, right? From what
Hato is basically gonna be done, essentially.
Yeah.
I think Scalvini will probably happen. Garnacho is for the last 10 days of the window. That's guaranteed to happen to you. Sorry to tell you that, bro. You know, that's objectively what's gonna happen. Objectively, that's what's gonna happen, bro. So,
but you heard what they said, right? Like we value him at 30 million, and they value Jackson at 80. Like again, it really depends.
But listen, you know what's gonna happen, bro? Chelsea's gonna do like loan of 30 million buy option. That's what they'll do. That's what Chelsea will do.
Listen, I'd be okay with it if there was like an out, like Sancho, where we can like 5 million, we can get out of the deal. Because again, we have to remember, Ahmed, right? You say that we're gonna buy this guy, but you can't forget we bought Quenda. We paid 40 million for Quenda. So why the hell are we buying Garnacho, bro? Like, you get what I'm saying?
For me, bro, listen, these guys like to flip players, so maybe they think, yeah, he can have a good season at Chelsea and sell him on. That's probably what they.
But it only makes sense, right? If we buy him for like 30 million and then we sell him for like 45, 50.
But remember, I said this to you before, bro. Some of these guys are just, you're buying them to be flips. You all know this is like the reality club. Quenda is a flip. You know, you listen, Mark. I know RSM is somewhere like in this chat. Your boy Pies is a flip.
No, Pies is definitely a flip. Pies is like 12 million.
Is a flip. Ameka, flip. Sebastian Nanase in Strasbourg, flip. We all know all these guys are going to be flips. So, like,
a lot of these guys.
Like, listen,
Quenda might be probably going to be a flip.
Listen, for all we know, man, imagine if your people's favorite player, Estevinho, becomes Estevinho out, bro. You know, he might be. You know, listen, we all laugh at this, we say jokes about this, but this is the way the club. This is the way the club works right now.
No, but I think what they're trying to do, Ahmed, they're trying to build like a solid core.
Yes, I know.
And then the ones that they don't want, they'll just flip. Like I think they're like the Caicedos, like Palmers and stuff like that. Like if João Pedro is the guy that we think that he could be, and he has like a very good season and stuff like that, he could be one of them. Mike Penders might be another. I don't know. Like they're trying to build a core and a spine, and then whoever else is not part of that core, they'll sell and they'll flip. So
Again,
we don't really.
Another one. Big up to the United, the former United Academy player. People don't know about him. The one that we played against against the Polish side in the quarterfinals. Flip Nation is about to be another flip. We all know this is what's gonna happen. So listen, mark my words. That's it. And Gabriel, the reality is, bro, this is what they've been doing for the longest time. That's what they've been doing. I don't even think what you're saying is wrong. You can just say the flops that don't work out are the ones that get flipped. I won't even hide it.
The guys they flipped so far, Ahmed, they're guys that no one really wanted to keep. Think about it, right?
Yes.
Let's think about it. Let's think about it objectively. Who have they actually flipped so far, right? They flipped Cassidy, right? Who no one cares about. They're gonna flip Renato Vega, who no one cares about. Right? Who else are they flipping? They flipped
Madueke.
Who cares about Madueke? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these guys, like no one cares about them. Nico Jackson's trash.
No one cares about Nico Jackson now.
No one cares about Nico Jackson.
They're selling him at his lowest point in the fan base's.
But you get what I'm saying, right? They're only looking at garbage players that are not performed, and they're flipping them. Like the guys that are actually quality, like they're not like Petrovic. Like again, people rate Petrovic. He's okay. He's decent. He's a decent goalkeeper, right? But for me, like I didn't mind losing Petrovic. The problem is Sanchez. That's the fucking problem because we're keeping Sanchez. You know what I'm saying? Like if we had gone in for a quality goalkeeper, I'd be okay with. But selling Petrovic.
You're speculating about Jackson now. bro. Let's be realistic, bro. Listen. Let's be honest, you're my guy. Yeah. But we all know what's happening. We all know he's gone. Like, there's not even me speculating, bro. It is not even me speculating. You know the club's playbook. Yeah, I'm not even speculating, by the way. Like, the problem is, you guys know me. I don't do speculation here. I just look objectively at the way the club works, and I only use previous history. We all need to look at the way they were talking about Noni Madueke boys and the way it moved on. They are literally, Matt Law's telling you, Jackson's on other clubs' list already. It's not even just about us here. Jackson's on other people's list. Why is he on other clubs' lists? Unless his agent or the club is offering him to these other clubs. You know what I mean? Like, this is what you need to think about. Like, if this was me, like, obviously, like, this is not me to say, oh, this guy's just gone because of the red card or something like that. Objectively, he's on other clubs' lists. Other clubs are linked to him. That's all it is. So there has to be a reason behind what's being happened or why all this stuff is going on, by the way. So that's all I have to say to that. And I think for me, Jackson is definitely gone. The guy I'm worried about a little bit more now is Nkunku, because I thought Nkunku would be moving by now, bro. And he's not moving just yet.
I think
no. He's gonna move, but I'm worried about what price we're moving him at now because
but think about this, right? Like if you look at the numbers, right, Ahmed, he's been here for 2 seasons now, right? So if you look at like the book value, his book value is like closer to 40 million. So if
I know, I agree. Yeah,
40 million, that's fine. 40 million will break even on Nkunku, and it's not just the 40 million, Ahmed. You're looking at the salaries as well, right? He's on
my boy TK, by the way. TK. Listen, TK, that's publicly. I think in reality, we probably value him somewhere around about the 60 to 60 million range.
Oh, we'll try to get 60 million, but I think we'll settle on like 45 plus 5 or something around there.
No, we'll probably get 60. I actually didn't know we would get 60.
But listen, if we get 60 million, kudos to them. But like, again, I don't think Nkunku's that like hard of a flip. I think again, the 2 guys that we're not going to be able to get any value from, Sterling and Chilwell and Broya. He's probably another one because that guy, he's terrible, man. And maybe we'll get like 8 million for him or something, or 10. But any money that we can get from Flora, that's.
I disagree. I think listen, the problem with buying is they need to start selling now. Osama, that's the difference now. They spent so much money now on just selling what's it called thingy that they need to start selling some players before they start buying.
But back to the original point, right? You were talking about flips. Look at the guys we've actually flipped. None of these guys people actually care about. None of these guys. So, I get your point that, we can sell Quenda, we can sell Paez, but if they perform to a very high level, they might make it in the first team. Like, again, Petrovic, I understand why people are like, oh, but Petrovic, he went on loan, he did decent. I think, again, massively overrated by the fan base. But, again, he was flipped, because they probably look at Penders. But
listen, But listen, but listen again. I say this because the reality, we know what the reality of this club is, bro. Are they going to even
Not
get?
selling
Are
guys that
these?
you want. Like if they were selling
Yeah.
like a guy that we actually cared about, I'd understand what you're saying. But so far, they haven't sold a single player that I'm like, oh my god, this guy, like they can't sell this guy. Every single player that they've sold, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool with that. Like Chalaba, if they flip him, I'm cool with that. Like I don't care. Like you know what I'm saying? Like none of these guys like actually care about Mount. When they sold Mount, the people were like, oh my god, we sold Mount. They sold Mount. You know what I'm
David
saying?
Washington has not been flipped, by the way, Duncan. He's currently at Santos.
So again, not a single player. If, I would be concerned on it if they were trying to like sell like, I don't know, like a Caicedo. Like, you can't even flip a Caicedo because of the value, right? I'd be more concerned if there was like Cucurella, right?
Well, how much have they bought? But no, I think that's fair. But I always say, look at Quinda. Quinda can be flipped realistically. The price you bought him for, same. Even your boy Stevino can be flipped.
Yep.
A lot. Some of these other guys, you look at the
It
prices
depends
they're
on how
buying
they
them at
perform,
now.
right? It depends on how they perform. Like if Stevo comes in and he benches Pedro Neto, right? And Pedro Neto can't even get game time because of the quality and he performs and whatever, then Neto's probably going to get sold. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. It's a survival of the fittest type mentality. I think Lewis Hall was someone I kind of didn't want to go. Like that was the only one.
I don't think anyone wants Lewis Hall to go.
I didn't want him to go. I thought he was a decent. Like Ian Maatsen, I wasn't a fan of Ian Maatsen. Like I know a lot of people were fans of Ian Maatsen. For me, I always knew that guy was a fraud, bro. And then he went to Villa. I still don't see it with Ian Maatsen. Like he hasn't really done anything that impressive. So again, I think Lewis Hall was the only guy that I was like, okay, this guy, it's kind of annoying. But again, that's because of Cucurella, Chilwell, and you know what have you. But everyone else, like I didn't really care if they were flipped. If you look at it objectively, you know.
But listen, there is another topic I want to talk about, which is Newcastle. Before we get to one more topic about Tottenham I want to talk about, and that is that it's kind of interesting with Newcastle because I actually genuinely feel like this year was going to be their year. Does that make sense?
Yep.
This year they were going to get stuff done. It was going to be objectively quite a bit more better for them this year. Like they had done something that some clubs have not done, bro. They have gotten the UCL, bro, to the last 3 years, right? I actually thought this was going to be a moment for them where they can springboard and start getting some of the much better younger targets they're looking at. Like again, obviously they haven't got Scalvini yet, but like when they were targeting Scalvini, I thought that was a good signing for them. When they were targeting Ekitike, I thought good signing for them. João Pedro was a good signing for them. Trafford, great signing for them. But like, and I felt like these are guys here. If you buy them, that's guys are gonna help them to take them to the next level that they're looking for, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's almost like the top 6 or the top 4, the other top remaining like City, Liverpool, Chelsea have essentially the other, and Arsenal have not really gotten a number for Arsenal. I've all been like, to let's say, slapped them across the face, bro. I've been like, no way, bro. You know what I mean? You're not on our level, essentially. That's what basically happened, bro. Right?
Ahmed, do you remember the Barclays era? Do you remember the Barclays era?
Yes.
That's what it is. That's the era that we're in right now. We're in the Barclays era from like 2004 to about 2013, that era where it's like the top elite of English football were better than everyone else, And then it was just like the middle pack where they were fighting for scraps, basically. Because you look at Bournemouth, like you just like Bournemouth, they're going to lose their best center backs and their best left back, right? 3 quality defenders. And then you look at, Aston Villa, they can't even buy players. They haven't even bought anyone. They might lose Morgan Rogers. I don't know if he'll stay or not. But, like, I get what you're saying, bro. Like, if you look around the league, Ahmed, like, the middle teams are going to get worse. And I think the top elite teams are going to get better. So, like, I think top 4 this season is going to be easy. Like, I don't think it should be a problem. I think
it just for me, what makes it just makes it look worse because I actually thought this was going to be their year, bro. I was thinking, damn, this is their year, bro. They're going to be cooking this year. And then, like, this happened. It's like, damn. Like, what happened? Like, the thing is, like,
I blame the FA, man.
If I look at João Pedro, for example, right, like, if you look at João Pedro, for example, João Pedro was basically all but set to go to the club, bro. Yeah, he was having he may not have wanted to go to Newcastle, but the reality was, if he wanted to leave Brighton, that was the only option, bro. We come in last minute, slap our cock on the table, We gave them essentially the same price package that Newcastle was asking, and he said yes to us straight away, bro. Right? James Trafford, bro, that deal was going on for weeks and weeks and weeks. I was worried we were the ones that were hijacking it. And then out of nowhere, Man City just go, bang! Thank you, bro. You know how crazy that is? They said, that's our player now.
Yeah.
You then have Ekitike is even more nasty work because they're part of the Ekitike, which was their number one target, and take their number one striker, possibly if you're Liverpool Football Club.
Ahmed, you know what it is, bro? Like there's like a prestige factor when you look at like players look at that. They look at legacy teams. They look at like, for example, like Latin America, South America. They really look at like the top teams in the Premier League, and they're like, I don't want to play for Brighton. I don't want to play for like a Newcastle and an Aston Villa, because for them that's embarrassing. They want to like tell their families like, oh, I played for Chelsea, I played for Liverpool, I played for like Manchester United or whatever, right? Like you want to go back home and like, oh, this is the team that I play for. Like they want to be like respected, you know. And like a lot of these fans, they look at this, and a lot of these players, they look at this. So I think there's like a pull factor, and I think there's like a legacy team factor where it's like as bad as Man United are, if Newcastle and Man United are in for a player, he's gonna go to Man United because they're not gonna care about Champions League. They're not gonna care about anything. They're gonna look at Man United. They grew up watching Fergie and all these in like the dominant Man United sides, and they're gonna go to Man United. It's as simple as that, you know. They're gonna go to Chelsea. They just saw them win the Club World Cup. Why would I go to Newcastle when I could go to Chelsea? You know, and they're you know, we're also in the Champions League, and so they're looking at like the prestige factor in the clubs as well. It's not just like, oh, Newcastle can afford me, and like they're having trouble. And I think also, Ahmed, you have to look at FA. The FA have royally screwed Newcastle and these other teams. Like
I think realistically, whether we want to admit or not, FFP and PSR has fucked a lot of these other teams too. Like,
screw them over, man.
That's us being objective, because realistically, what would have happened is that none of this stuff with Issa would have happened because they would have been able to give him the contract. They then would have been able to spend the thousands of pounds of money that they already had from you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From the oil money, from the Salit, as I like to call it in Somali, which is basically oil in Somali. But like literally, they would have been able to spend that and make stuff happen.
Bro, it's the elite clubs, right? The top 5, top 6, whatever people want to call it. The elite clubs, they don't want more clubs coming into that group. They don't. So they lobby, you know, FA to like, listen, we need more regulations, but it's not for them because again, I guarantee you, bro. Like,
the Chelsea, the football club that spends the most money, somehow still has the most available PSR apparently. FFP, the first available.
Yeah, bro. Like we sell hotels for ourselves. We, you know, you know what I'm saying?
We are the ones that are flipping the rules, bro. You know,
bro, we're criminals, bro. Like we're legit criminals. Like, the stuff that we do, bro. I love it, bro. I love it, by the way. I think it's hilarious. But it's like the FA, they don't want these like teams joining the legacy clubs. They don't. You know, like that's just the reality. It's like Amazon, right? They buy every business because they don't want someone competing with them. So they monopolize the market. So basically, we have 5 teams or 6 teams monopolizing the entire. They do this in La Liga, bro. Real Madrid and Barcelona, they don't allow other teams to prosper, bro, because of like the way it's financially split in La Liga. It's crazy.
They've cut.
It's
a lot
crazy,
of
bro.
They've just cut.
So that's what it is with Newcastle. I don't think they're ever gonna. Unfortunately, they can have the richest owners in the world if they are not able to prove that they have this revenue, like by selling players, by increasing sponsorship deals. They're never going to be able to, consistently buy elite players and convince them to come to Newcastle. And it is what it is. Like they were bought in a different era. Like if they were bought 7-8 years ago, maybe they would have time to kind of build that squad. But ever since PSR, you look at what Forest is going through. You look at what some of these other teams are going through. They're not able to spend, bro. Villa can't spend on anyone. Like, yeah, it's tough, man. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but the elite clubs, all I'm saying, like, they don't want teams to join that group. It is what it is. Like, they're gonna privatize that area. They want that group to stay where they are, and everyone else can fuck off, basically.
Exactly, bro. And I listen, and it's and I listen. At least here you can say we have been a bit more honest about it. But I mean, there's some people who will be like, no. This is because we're trying to make sure the league's fairer. We're looking after the other players in the league, which is not true. Okay?
Bro, they hate Chelsea. The media absolutely hate Chelsea, and like they've tried to do everything possible to screw over Chelsea with like the bans and the fucking they sanctioned us. They tried to remember we wanted Arabs, right, Ahmed? Like everyone in the fan base, they wanted Arab owners at Chelsea. And then when you got American owners, we're like, fuck, these guys don't know football. They're not gonna invest in the club. And then they got literally the Americans that invested so heavily on the club. And they're like, shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
And not even just that, they're dodgy, bro. Like, and I love it. They do shady stuff, bro. So
yes, that is true. And one thing I want to say, there's 84 of you guys in here, and I am only 29 away from 3K. Can I get 29 of you to subscribe to get me to 3,000 subscribers, please? Helps me on how to shut out end of the day, please. Only 29 more of you to here to subscribe to get me to 3,000 subscribers. Can we get there before 10:30? Because I've got to go to what's it called, Sam's channel at 10:30. So it'd be very helpful if you guys could get me there, please, as well. But listen, it's a sad day for Newcastle. I'll be honest with you. I do listen. Listen, you know what I mean. It does feel. I do feel obviously like very. You know what I mean. I do feel sorry for them. You know, obviously, in a sense, because listen, I am. Listen, I don't. If this was like just 10 years ago, and they were brought the way they were brought, we all know what was gonna happen.
Oh yeah, bro, they would have dominated Premier League. Like,
They would have been. It would have been a top 7 now. It would have been the top 6 realistically. Yeah. Right. Even at stability extent, it would have probably been like some of them.
And I don't like that personally. I like competition. Like I like when the league is competitive. I hate it when there's just like 1 or 2 teams that dominate everything because it's just boring as a fan. Like to watch it, like you watch Bundesliga, it's Bayern, and that's it. You go to PSG, they dominate the league, and it sucks. And then you go to La Liga. It's just Barcelona, Real Madrid. Madrid.
Listen. Part of the problem for me is that, PSR to an extent, obviously we've talked about like the stuff that he definitely is doing. There is like some level to an extent where there is like a valid reason for it to exist, right? In the sense that if you genuinely like, I watch a lot of like other stuff in regards to like football news and stuff like that, football like documentary, like football news about other clubs in the Championship, League One, League Two, and other stuff that just happened in other leagues and other clubs. There are a lot of clubs, bro, that are getting destroyed because their owners are bad or terrible or fuck the club up financially by overspending, by doing some crazy stuff, right? And that has led to a lot of clubs, whether it be in the EFL, in the lower leagues, right? If you look at just in the Italian league, the French league is a great example of what I'm talking about as well. The Spanish league right now, Valencia, of course, and other stuff like that. Bro, it is crazy, bro. You know what I mean? It is crazy, bro, the situations that happened there. So to an extent, PSR for me is also, on some level, it is also like a necessary like evil. Does that make sense?
No,
like,
I get it. I get it. We don't want owners to like put the club in a situation where there's so much debt. We don't want another Glazers. Like what happened with the Glazers, like that should have never went through, bro. Yes. That deal to buy the club should have never went through, bro. To leverage the club, that's crazy, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I understand, like, there needs to be some sort of like protocol, but the way it is now, it just favors the big clubs and everyone else gets screwed. Like, if there was just like a financial penalty, like, listen, if you break the rules, pay 10 million, that's it. But what they're doing, bro, it's like points deductions, transfer bans. Like, they're literally crippling the sides that want to like do well. And that's why I think we're headed towards like a Barclays era, right? 04 to 2013, where it was like 4 elite clubs and everyone else. Like I honestly don't see anyone else getting into that top 4. Because you look at Tottenham, they're not a serious club. Man United, bro, listen. Shout out to Man United, man. But
the thing that shocks me the most about United is that I just can't believe that. Like, listen, you guys know that, I don't necessarily think that United's team play. Some of the United players that aren't being able to be sold are bad. But like, it's like, come on, guys, like they should be able to get sold. Like, you can't be this bad at selling.
We sell the club or sell the players?
Like sell some of these players that I'm talking about, at United, because you can't be this bad.
A lot of these guys, Ahmed, they're on very expensive contracts. So Sancho, right? He's on like 250. I think Anthony's on like 250. Rashford is like on 350. So how are you gonna sell those 3 guys, bro? Like Mount is on 250, bro.
No, but I get no. Listen, that I get, but there's some of the other guys like Delo. If you want to sell him,
Like Garnacho, they should be able to sell him for 50 million. Like
Garnacho realistically should be able to be sold. Like, I get even Sancho to an extent should be able to be sold. Like if you make the right compromise, you can sell Sancho. I get Anthony and Rashford and like to an extent Casemiro being a bit more harder, right? Those 3, but the rest of them, bro, it's very easy to be should be moved on.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. It's just that's the thing, bro. Like they see United, and United have always had a reputation of being like bad sellers, and they overpay for players. Look at Mbeumo, bro. They ended up paying exactly. They actually paid more.
But that's the problem. But that's what happens, by the way. And I said this to you before, bro. When you are known to be a certain type of person, bro, people they don't care if you've changed or not, bro.
I guarantee you, Ahmed, they're gonna pay 70 million for Sesko, bro. Like if
they'll do that,
they're gonna pay 70 million for this guy,
and they're also gonna accept that loan with buy option or loan with obligation to buy for Garnacho. You know what I mean?
They probably will, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
This is Chelsea is gonna be doing this when they get what Chelsea, when they put in that bid. Watch. You know what I mean? they don't what's gonna happen, bro.
Listen, as much as these SDs have been criticized, and I've been like one of their biggest critics. They know how to sell, bro. At least there's something there. Like they know how to sell, you know. So at least on that extent, they do well, you know.
Yeah, man. Listen, all I'm gonna say, man. Chelsea when they bring in another, when they get an agreement in principle with the loan of obligation to buy.
Oh, he lost it again! Yeah!
Genuinely, bro. I'm literally gonna be Chelsea, bro. In the transfer room. That's the point, right? This Xavi, we voted up again. Jeff.
Wait, Sims is off. Is that true?
Listen, bro. No news have heard about Simmons being off, bro. Again,
I would laugh so hard if Simmons was off, bro. I'm not even gonna joke.
I promise you, bro. If Simmons is off, bro, we would have had that like this, bro.
Well, if Simmons is off, our group chat is gonna go crazy. They're gonna the way RSM has been twerking for Simmons. I'm like, nah, bro.
We need to tell RSM to stay off the drugs, man.
Relax, bro. Relax. Simmons, bro. It's not like we're getting run out.
You know what I mean? Please stay off the drugs. You know what I mean? The dopamine that'll be. Listen, I think people get addicted to transfer needs at Chelsea, man. You know what I mean? It's too much. You know what I mean?
Listen,
guys,
if there's,
I'm not even. Listen, I said this before, man. I don't have any love for transfer needs, man. At this point,
Ahmed, if I wake up tomorrow and Simmons is off and we're going in for Yildiz, I'm gonna be happy, bro. Because
if it happens, you know me, bro. I'm happy. You know what? Let's make that happen. You know what? Let's make it happen.
Yildiz is a better footballer. So for me, if I wake up tomorrow and Simmons is off and Yildiz is coming to Chelsea, I don't care, bro. I don't care. Like that's where I'm at right now.
9 million bid for Yildiz. Yes,
Max, you say he's not coming to Chelsea, right? We just negotiated with Jorge Mendes made millions again from us and agent fees, bro. And he hasn't signed with Juventus. People think Juventus is like this super team that like they're building like a strong foundation and stuff. Bro, Yildiz, if we offer him money and we pay up for Juventus, he will come. I'm just letting you guys know this now. Like I'd rather pay 80 million for Yildiz than fucking pay like anything to Garnacho. Like Garnacho, I don't want that guy here, man. Honestly, that guy's shit. Like anyone but Garnacho, man. But yeah, like we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. Morning Xavi, I would laugh so hard if he doesn't cover.
Yeah, I idolize Del Piero. Well, you know what they say about Del Piero, man.
Hey, relax. Del Piero was cold, bro. Like Yildiz is quality, but Del Piero was.
Nah, I'm not even trying to tell that. I'm just trying to say, listen, Del Piero, man, he was a company man, but we all know. But listen, we all know what happened with company man.
Hey, he's Turkish, man. He's not Italian, so hey, he might come. He might come to Chelsea. We'll see what happens, man.
Listen, man, we're gonna make it happen. We'll make that one happen, man. The thing about Juve, man, sadly, is that they're broke now, guys. You know what I mean? They're broke.
Bro, have you seen that squad, bro? That squad is trash, man. People act like that.
Those brothers are broke. And this is why I love watching Serie A on a week up basis. Serie A is competitive because they don't have money anymore. So it's just a good watch. It's a good week in, week out watch, bro. These guys, man, are like it's a good watch, bro. You know what I mean?
Listen,
It's a
if
great
George Mendes goes to Yildiz, like, listen, bro, let's make the move. People think that clubs have like the authority these days. I was talking to Joey about this. It's not about the clubs anymore. It's about the player and the agent. That's how football works now. It's about the agents and the football players. Clubs, they don't have any say anymore, bro. It's all about the agent. If the agent wants to push for a move and a player wants to go, he'll move. It is what it is.
The whole thing, the whole thing is that, especially these days, is that the agents, in my personal opinion, like
they have a lot of power, man.
They have a lot of power, of course, but at the same time, they also control players' futures. If that makes sense, right? They make sure and to make stuff happen and everything like that. So,
for every time there's a move, they actually advocate for a move because they make more money on the agent fees, and the player does too. So, like, he's gonna play in the Premier League, make more money. Why would he stay at Juventus, bro? They're not even building anything. Like, they're not even doing anything. Like, they might not even win a league for a couple seasons. Like, that team, bro, they're trying to sell Vlahovic to Saudi.
Exactly. I'd say Vlahovic is a crazy one because, like, I don't know what's going on with him, but no one wants to talk about him.
He's terrible, bro. He's awful.
He's bad, but
bro.
Yeah, everyone's looking for strikers, but and no one, everyone's saying that to you, bro. Like, fuck, bro, what's going on? Like,
the rumor is if Vlahovic goes to Saudi, they might come in for Jackson. That's the rumor. I don't know. Oh man, that'd be funny, man.
That's no way. Ain't no way, bro. There is no way he's on 400K a week, bro. Is that why he's not leaving? It actually makes sense why he's not leaving if he's on something like that, bro.
He's terrible, man. He's genuinely
of course he's terrible, man. He's trash.
Him and Colomwani, man. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus.
Colomwani, what happened to Colomwani? He's still, he's back to PSG right now, right? You know that,
bro. He's so bad, bro. I remember when this guy was like on that purple patch. Remember when he was on a purple patch? You're like, oh, this guy, he finally find the club. Man, fans, they'll hype up anything, man. Oh my god, they'll watch like 2 games of a player and they'll think he's amazing. It's hilarious, bro.
There's nothing much to say at this point. But listen, what I will say is that you can catch me now on Don Hussam channel, where we're going to be talking about all this and more. People are going to be making jokes about Garnacho, but I'm going to be telling the truth. Garnacho's coming to the football club, and we're learning about obligations to buy. We're just going to do the same thing as we usually do. This is not me. This is Chelsea. So we're going to discuss a lot of that and more on the Don Hussam channel. Make sure you tune in. We're going to be rating over to him. Love and guidance, big man. And Cucurella. Remember.